All right, Ryan, what are we going to be doing today?
So today I'm going to show how to pack a piece of artwork. Now this piece of artwork is framed with glass, so it's kind of delicate. So we need to do a very specific packing job on this. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to wrap this in bubble wrap, and then I'm going to wrap it in a layer of cardboard to make a shell. And then luckily I have a box here that USPS boxes come in. It's actually the perfect size, I think. Yes. I try to use as many recycled materials as possible. I buy bubble wrap, but I use newspaper, and this was a free box from the post office, so I'm trying to recycle that. Okay, so we have our bubble wrap. Actually, this is supposedly biodegradable bubble wrap that I bought, so it's supposed to break down in like 2 years or something. Because we have glass here, I'm gonna do that whole, like, if you lived in an area of the country where you had hurricanes, you know this method for your windows. So we'll use some masking tape on the glass. Hopefully the glass is not gonna break. We're gonna make it so it doesn't break, but if something happens, you'd want to have the glass kind of all in one piece. So I'm going to make little tabs here, so the customer can take the tape off easily when they get it, just in case. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this as much as possible in bubble wrap. So on the edges here where it's open, I'm going to just tape it just to reinforce the corner here. I forgot to put my little thank you note inside, so I'm just going to tape it to the outside. So for the outside box, I'm going to use a priority mail box. The post office might not love you for doing that, but they're not going to see it, so. I'm going to open the box up. I'm going to put the bottom just in there, right there. If the cardboard runs this way, it's easy to bend it at those little creases to make it fit your object. So I have another one. And so you can just break it at the part that it's glued. So I'm making a shell out of this box here. There we go. So now the open corners I'm going to kind of tape shut. My theory for this particular box for the floating method is I want to give it a shell because I want to protect the top and bottom and the face, so that if I just put this in with the bubble wrap, if that shifts, something could happen where it could get bumped. So this kind of just gives it an extra layer of protection. Every time I've done the floating method, whether it's for a piece of artwork, a typewriter, a coffee mug, anything, I've never had anything break. So it's a surefire way to, basically you're making a protective shell around it and giving it some like buoyancy, so that the impact, if someone drops this box, it's got 2 layers of extra padding.
Because you have to assume that at the post office, as nice as they may be,
even though like this box is just going to the next state over, okay, so it's not going that far, it doesn't matter. It's going from my postal worker's truck into the post office, into another truck, like it's getting bumped around. So you really have to make sure that it's well padded and well protected so that it just does not get broken. Now what I want to do with this box is I want to do first the bottom layer of newspaper. A nice thick layer so that it gives it like a cushion to sit on. I'm just making a nice cushion there. So now what I want to do is I want to take my shell and stick it in there. Make sure it's not too thick. Might push it down a little bit. Okay, so it fits in there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in all the extra space with, I'm going to use newspaper. You could use shredded paper, which can tend to be a little bit heavier because it's dense. Or you can use packing peanuts if you have that. So those are also good things to use. Although if you use packing peanuts, I would advise to use a thick layer of newspaper on the bottom, because packing peanuts can settle and move so that your piece of artwork will sit right on the bottom of the box. So it's good to have something really dense at the bottom. So something else you can do to help fill in space, you can take another priority box, like this is a regional rate A for you shipping nerds. You can make the box into a complete box. So you can take this empty box and put it on the edges. So put one in the front, one in the back, and then just fill the rest with newspaper. So that gives it a little bit more protection. I'll squish that. Oh, there we go. Any open spaces, I'm just going to stuff. Now packing peanuts would be faster for this, but if you're cheap, this stuff is free. So it takes a little bit longer. But...
And where do you normally get the newspaper?
So we subscribe to our local newspaper, so I use that. But when we go and bring our bottles and cans to the recycling place, I'll go into the paper bin and grab a stack of newspapers. And that'll last me several months, just a stack that thick. If you have FreeCycle mailing list in your area, you can ask on FreeCycle or Craigslist for people's, stack of newspaper, and they're happy not to have to bring it to the recycling center. Okay, so this is my last layer on the top. I'm just going to really pat out the top. So what I do is I squeeze it together, my legs. And these boxes, since this box is pretty padded, I'll just tape it this way first. So now I'm going to tape the edges. Okay, so even though the post office does glue these together, I am going to tape the bottom. My label should fit over this, but I'm going to Sharpie it out just in case, because you don't want them to scan something by accident. It's good to do this before you tape over it, but... Let's see if I can guess. It feels like 7 pounds. Ooh, it's 9.2. So that technically is 10 pounds, according to the post office. So we're going to print a label for 10 pounds. It's actually going priority mail because it's close, so it's relatively cheap. And pretty much fits here. So because it's going priority mail, I'm going to put a bunch of priority stickers so they know for sure that it's going priority. And I have a bunch of fragile stickers that I'll put on too. You can get these stickers, the priority mail stickers, for free on the USPS website. And you can get fragile stickers like this on Amazon. I can link to those. That's where I get them. So I will link to everything that I used in this video that you need to purchase, like bubble wrap, the fragile stickers, and the USPS stickers. Okay, that's it.